Hi friends, welcome to another video from Empathic Finance with me, Mike Pumphrey, your money coach. So I want to tell you a story today about a job I had when I was in college. So I was living at home, and so I didn't need to pay rent, thankfully, so I basically just needed some pocket money. But I remember having a really tough time finding anyone to be interested in me. I remember going all around town putting applications in. I remember I applied at Starbucks, and I eventually got interest and got an interview at a department store, one that's no longer around. It was called Best, not Best Buy. It was called Best. And they wanted me there. I applied to work in the electronics department, thinking that I could sell some TVs, and they didn't want that. They're like, we can't have you out on the storefront. I had long hair at the time, and they thought that was scandalous, which might give you a sense of why this department store is no longer around. But anyway, so I'm at the interview, and they wanted me to work in the warehouse to bring out TVs and VCRs and things like that, which is fine. During the interview with the store manager, he asked me, what do you think your starting wage should be? And I was 17 at the time, and no one had ever asked me this before. And I remember thinking I had no idea what to answer for that. I mean, I wanted to say, zillions of dollars, that sort of thing, but I didn't know. I mean, I knew what minimum wage was at the time, and obviously I wanted to make more than that. I mean, everyone does. But I also knew that I wanted this job. It had been difficult for me to get any interview whatsoever. And so I felt at the time like I didn't want to ask for too much, because I worried that if I asked for too much money, then the interview would be over and I wouldn't get hired. So what I ended up doing is I gave him a number, a wage, that was just a little bit above minimum wage. It was really low. Minimum wage at the time was $4.25, and I asked for $5 an hour, which is about, I think, 8 something today. And he said, sure, we could do that. And I was hired. So sounds great, right? Except that when I got hired and talked to other people who worked there, they were all making a lot more than I was. And I remember thinking, well, why is that? And one of those reasons was because I asked for very little money. If I had asked for more, I probably would have gotten it. And this taught me something really, really powerful about owning your value, which is to say that I was scared, I was feeling insecure, and so I asked for less than I could have gotten. And the thing is that when you lowball yourself, when you undervalue yourself, when you ask for less than what you can earn, you're gonna get it. And that's a hard lesson to learn, or at least it was for me, to say that in some ways I was responsible for making less money. And I bet you've had a situation like that too, where you've not wanted to ask for too much because you're worried you won't get the job. And obviously, if I had gone in and asked for $1 million, it would have been like, get real, kid, get out of here. But that's how negotiation works. And if you start at a good number, at a high number, it's probably not, he probably wouldn't have said, get out of here, kid. If I had said $7, maybe you said, we can't do that, but we'll give you $6.50 or something like that. You don't know. I don't know what would have happened, but I do know that you've been in that situation where you've been in a job interview and someone has said, what's your starting salary? And I bet you've been in that position where you haven't wanted to ask for too much, but therein lies your greatest opportunity in your job situation for earning more money, that initial wage. It's much harder to get a raise than it is to start strong. Now, there's lots of ways in the negotiation tactics to get more money. You want to make sure that they ask for, you ask them to give a number first before you give a number. There's lots of ways to do that. But one of the most important things to remember is that you have the opportunity there. And the risk is that you undervalue yourself. And when you undervalue yourself, you're probably going to get what you ask for. So when you're in this situation, stop and think. Do you want to be the person who undervalues yourself? Or do you want to stand up on a table and say, hey, I am worth a lot. I am worth a lot of money. And if you don't see that value, then I'm going to find someone who will. And I want that for you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.